I don't know. There's a woman on YouTube that's very popular, and her husband's a doctor, and they moved to France, and she just said it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. But I think mostly she was complaining because her husband didn't make as much money in France as he does in the United States. So let's protect the doctors so they can buy the Mercedes-Benz. I don't have anything against doctors. But man, I mean, our CEOs are paid more in relationship to their economy or whatever, and the ratio to what their lowest paid worker makes and what they make. American executives, I think, are the most highest paid in the world. And it's just not by a little bit. It's like 3 or 4 times more than like the top paid executive in India or China, which are some of our major competitors. Maybe that's why they're getting the edge on us. Maybe they're catching up. The secret is stop paying our CEOs so much money. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but I just see things, you know? And I'm sure, I don't know if the ratio is 3 times, but I am sure that CEOs get paid a lot more than they do in Britain and France. And somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But I thought that was interesting. Some of these French are very upset over the change in the retirement age. And calendar section. There's some movies coming out that sort of caught my eye. One thing is there's a movie coming out with Tom Cruise called Something Night. Man, I hate Tom Cruise. It's hard for me. If he's in a movie, it ruins it for me. I mean, I think Eyes Wide Shut would have been so much better if Tom Cruise wasn't in it. You know, they're going to remake, this is a great thing about the LA Times, because LA Times is a movie town, you know, Hollywood. Where else are you going to see full-page ads like that in the paper? Color, this is a color ad. And it's for the new A-Team. Just Hollywood's running out of original ideas, aren't they? There's all these shows they're going to remake. You know, I can't wait till they remake My Mother the Car. Yeah, this is called Night and Day with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise. I'm sure he had to spend most of the movie standing on a milk crate. Now there's Shrek 4. There's a new version of Robin Hood. Robin Hood is one of my heroes. Stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Yeah. You know, before when I used to get in arguments with right-wingers and stuff, they would be like, Robin Hood's no hero. He was a thief. Well, you know whose side you're on, aren't you? You don't care about the poor. Oh, I get your channel name. Michael Span. I'm sorry. I'm bad with channel names unless they're really simple. But he replied to my comment on his May Day video. Eat the rich. Oh, it's Michael Ispan. There's an I in there. Otherwise, it would look like Michael Span. Yeah, I did a May Day video. And it's a recording of that guy that's in prison. I can't remember his name, but he's on death row. And the man sounds very, very wise. I mean, I couldn't disagree with anything he had to say. He was talking about corporations and the, you know, the failures of capitalism. I mean, he didn't really sound like he was anti-capitalist, but there are problems with capitalism unchecked. Look at my poofy hair. And so that's that. The fashion section is all about gold, gold, gold. It kind of shows maybe somewhere where our society is going. You notice a lot of third world countries, they wear a lot of gold, the ones that can afford it, the richer ones. I don't know, to me wearing a lot of gold I think is tacky. But I grew up a Protestant, and for the Protestants, their churches are very austere. There's not a lot of stained glass, usually. A proper Protestant church should be like wooden pews and very simple architecture. Whereas Catholicism, it's very ornate with statues and paintings and stained glass. And so the idea is that a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant does not show off their wealth. They do not drape themselves in gold jewelry. They you know, their car if they're rich, they're going to drive something like a Volvo or something that's you know, obviously expensive, but low key. You know, it's not a friggin' Hummer with spinning rims. You know. That's the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant style, and that comes from my father's side. For me, I don't wear, even though I took jewelry and I made some rings and necklaces and stuff, I don't wear any jewelry. And my father didn't even wear his wedding ring. And the only jewelry I ever wear is a watch. I don't have any piercings. No, look, it's all about me. I'm talking about myself. Should I pull out, would I whip out the family album? You know, Delisa of Delisa Productions made that request. All right, and I had to dig this out the other day for my brother. And I'm gonna show you my baby picture, all right? All right, my father had two families, and since I was the firstborn in his second family, naturally I'm on page 1. So that's me as a baby, all right? Can you see that okay? A little reflection there. Yeah, that's me. That's little citizenkong. The little backstabbing, spineless weasel, you know, still innocent before I was turned into such a terrible person.